Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. In this video, I wanted to speak on the topic of the M.O.T.B, because kind of like a recap of 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. The elites have really been pushing this vibration of the M.O.T.B, basically to desensitize the population about having a subdermal device implanted into you. And the apostles have been speaking about these things because in the scriptures, we were given the commandment not to take that M.O.T.B. So being a part of this ministry and standing for the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, is that we're going to be staunchly against this device because we were commanded not to take it. And so we're not going to give it any wiggle room. We're not going to entertain this spirit. This is ultimately a trial and a test of our faith if we're going to take this thing or not. Because the hour of temptation is going to be on everybody down here. But whatever situation that the hopeful elect are going to find themselves in, they're going to trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. They're not going to trust what this devil has to offer. And we're not going to take this M.O.T.B. And so I wanted to just read the title of this article because, as you can see from this year, even last year and the year before that, the elites have been pushing the vibration of the M.O.T.B. This is literally their endeavor, and they're carried headlong onto it because part of them establishing their New World Order agenda is that they need hundreds of millions of people having this device in them in order for their society to function. So, like I said, I'm just going to read the title of this article. It says, in 2024, Elon Musk predicted that hundreds of millions of people will have this brain chips within the next 20 years. So don't forget to hold them to it. And so that's their endeavor, and they're carried headlong, and the foolishness efficiency, they're going to be in straits. In the moment when they're about to fulfill their agenda, Yahweh Shai is going to return and disrupt their dinner. Basically, they're not going to be able to be satisfied with what they're attempting here, because ultimately none of this is going to work because the elect are going to stand stiffly for the names of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai and keep his commandment. The main commandment I'm speaking about is not taking that M.O.T.B. And so before I read those precepts, I wanted to read this in the book of Judith, chapter 5 in the GNT, and I'm going to start at verse 17 because I wanted to just highlight that fact that the Heavenly Father does not deal with sin. And of course, we're under grace with Yahweh Shai, but that requires faith also. With that faith of Yahweh Shai, we're going to keep his commandments. And because you have to understand that the Heavenly Father does not like wickedness. He does not deal with sin. And if we disobey his commandment, that is rebellion, and it's a sin unto witchcraft. So this is from the Judith 5 in the GNT, verse 17. It says, their God hates wickedness, and as long as they did not sin against him, they prospered. But when they disobeyed him, they suffered heavy losses and many wars, and were finally taken away as captives to a foreign country. The temple of their God was leveled, and their cities were occupied by their enemies. But now that they have returned to their God, they have come back home from the countries where they had been scattered. They have again taken possession of the city of Jerusalem, where their temple is. Continuing on, it says, and have resettled in the mountains that had remained uninhabited. Sir, if these people are now sinning against their God, even unknowingly, and if we can be sure that they are guilty of some offenses, we can successfully attack them. And just notice, though, because if you read the whole chapter here, this is the heathen basically bringing up the account of the Hebrew Israelites. So these people know who we are, and they know our weaknesses, like kryptonite, sin. Even if we're doing these things unknowingly, like in this society, we're literally under grace because we're always unknowingly sinning. And that's why Yahushua has to come and redeem us so that we're delivered out of this place so that we may serve him in our land. And but what these heathen have done is they've gotten together, like it's quoted in Psalms 83. They've consulted against us with each other to basically keep us away from our power. Because if we were, as a whole nation, righteous, we would be in our land. We would be blessed. We would be prosperous. But because some of us here and there have sinned and we've been kicked out of that land, now we basically have the curses of Deuteronomy on us. And so what these people are basically recounting that fact about us as a nation. So I'm going to read from verse 20 again. It says, "Sir, if these people are now sinning against their God, even unknowingly, and if we can be sure that they are guilty of some offense, we can successfully attack them. But if they have not disobeyed the law of their God, then you should leave them alone, or he will defend them, and we will be disgraced before the whole world." And just like what happened with Egypt and any type of rebellion that tried to come up against the nation of Israel, when we were in our power, in our righteousness, they were never able to stand against us. And so now we know the commandment is to not take that M.O.T.B. So there's no excuse about even unknowingly taking this thing. The word has gone out and it has been accomplished that what it was sent to do, which is to gather the elect, because the elect are going to obtain this truth. The rest are blinded. But now, because the elect obtain that truth, the elites aren't going to be able to put that device into everybody, because we're going to be perfect in the sight of the Lord. And so these things are foretold unto us, and now we're telling you these things. That's why we're always out there on the highways and hedges speaking about the M.O.T.B. That's one of the main pushes that you see when or listen to when you watch our videos. And so, and this kind of like highlights too in Matthew 24 and 24, because if you read that chapter, what Yahushua was going into was like how the things are going to be like before his return. So you can see all these things that he was saying in Matthew 24 are starting to happen. The signs and the times and all the things, the wars and rumors of wars, the distress amongst nations, but then also the elites performing these false miracles. So I'm going to read this real quick in Matthew 24 and 24. It says, "For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." And so you have all these other so-called false Christians, false anointed, false prophets, basically saying that this device isn't a commandment. Like the Heavenly Father doesn't care if you put a grain of rice device inside of you, or if you deal with these devices. But we were told basically to watch for these things and mark those who are causing division amongst the doctrine. And so I'm going to read this in Matthew 24 and 24 again. It says, "For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." And so that's why here at Great Millstone, the most hated Hebrew Israelite group is staunchly against this M.O.T.B. Because the rest of these people, they have holes in their doctrine, among other things, which I'm not going to get into all these other diverse things that these other various groups speak about and do. But here at Great Millstone, we speak about the M.O.T.B. And so now you know this. You're not in darkness about this M.O.T.B. And we have countless videos going into why we have that conclusion. When you go into that word charagma, you can watch those videos for yourselves, but you should also search those things out for yourselves also. So Esau Edom is going to come with all these false wonders and fake miracles, because with that device, he's going to be able to do a lot of good things, supposedly. But those things shouldn't deceive you, because you know and understand that our faith and power lies in Yahweh Shai, and we are to keep his commandments. All right, so I'm going to read these last precepts. This is in Luke 18:7. It says, "And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?" So even though we're going to be in the thick of it down here amongst everybody, there's going to be an escape supposedly with that M.O.T.B. There's going to be famines. There's going to be illnesses and sicknesses. There's not going to be any jobs. The grinding is going to cease, as we're witnessing right now and experiencing the beginning stages of those things. But the Esau Edom is going to show that M.O.T.B. as a comfort, as an escape from those things. And so us down here, relying in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we have to believe that he's going to avenge us, and he's going to have angels encamp around about them who fear him and keep his commandments. And so we have to stand stiffly for his names. So no matter what is presented unto you, whatever hour of temptation you're going through, you have to know and understand the scriptures. That's why, with all that get understanding. Wisdom and knowledge are going to be stability of your time, the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. If you love the Heavenly Father, you should keep his commandments. But I'm going to continue on reading Luke 18:7. It says, "And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?" Verse 8, "I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?" And so that's basically saying, yes, that he will find faith on the earth, because he's going to find those who are standing stiffly for his name. And so I'm just going to read these precepts real quick about the M.O.T.B. This is in Revelation 13, verse 16. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark," a charagma in the Greek, "in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." And this device is going to be the means and functions on how you're going to buy and sell in this coming society. They're really showing a lot of like the bells and whistles of this device, where it's able to cure people's blindness and make them walk again. But be not deceived. Those things are basically just false miracles. And he's really just trying to put that device into everybody, so that we as the nation of Israel break the commandment and disobey him, even if we do it unknowingly, like I read in Judith 5. That's basically what he's trying to do with this M.O.T.B. Because we could read this, and we could read the judgment of those who take those things, because they disobeyed the Lord, and they disregarded his message. This is in Revelation 14, and I'm going to start at I'll start at verse 9. "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." And so this is speaking about when the Heavenly Father judges this place with thermonuclear missiles, as just as Sodom and Gomorrah, this place is going to be destroyed. You could read the book of Isaiah about that. You could read all the scriptures, all the prophets foretold about that event, of the greatness of our deliverance and the destruction of this captivity that we're in. It's going to be just as the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, with fire and brimstone. And all those people who are subscribed to this society and trust in this society, trust in the shadow of Egypt, and take that M.O.T.B. are going to be destroyed with this place. So, choose you this day whether you want to serve the Heavenly Father, or just basically go along to get along in this society. So let me see. I'm going to read verse 11. It says, "And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. And so these are the commandments that we are going to uphold during the hour of temptation, because we, part of the hopeful elect, want to be a part of that glorious reunion, that wedding, so that when we're in the presence of the Lamb, we're seeing those who disregarded this message, who are of the broad gate, who took that M.O.T.B, burn in that fire and brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you'll strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for you. You want to be a part of that gathering, as opposed to the broad gate. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash, and Shalom Akim.